everyone, and welcome back to Jesse Hecht Creative. Today we're going over Agatha Harkness from WandaVision, Scarlet Witch from Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Kingpin from the Hawkeye series, and Kang the Conqueror from Ant-Man Quantumania, all from Marvel Legends. Before we begin, make sure to hit that like button and smash that subscribe button. Now let's get to it. It was Agatha all along, or actually Catherine Hahn all along. Yeah, this head sculpt isn't really the best for me, honestly. I like how it looks. The hair is pretty good. Hasbro always does really good hair sculpts, and I gotta call them out for that. Great job, Hasbro. Articulation is nil, kind of. It's really weird with everything, these little weird wispy ghost things. It's strange. The likeness is okay from the angle over here, but that smile's too huge. The box has a better interpretation of her face. The dress and everything else is one big block of just wrapping, and it's one large piece that's all pre-posed, and that's the worst part about this figure. You can't really do much with her. She doesn't look really that great with her head. I do like this up here, looks pretty cool. Articulation it's fine, I guess. You can move her arms around a bit, but the joints are very gummy and not really great looking. What is with these little black hands? I forget why her hands are black, or at least her fingertips, but yeah, it's just one large block of just whatever. It's almost like a block of spaghetti, that's what I gotta say. The legs kind of move too a little bit, but even then, it isn't really that great. And aside from the Build-A-Figure pieces I don't even need, she comes with no accessories, so yeah, good job, Agatha. This is a pretty alright Elizabeth Olsen head sculpt, but I do think it looks a bit wide for me, at least. I'm not sure if it's the framing of the hair, and the hair looks awful. It's just not really that great, very just poorly painted, not good at all for me, at least. The sculpting's okay, I would guess. It's more like wood than hair. It's very weird. Yeah, not my favorite head sculpt. The crown is okay, too, and the articulation is just not really that great. It's kind of hindered a lot by the hair. The body is done with this really good wash. I like the look of it. It's very modeled, very sort of like just dirty and like grungy. I love the arms are really well done, and the whole skirt piece is really nice too. This is kind of, I'm not sure if it's an upgrade or not, but I definitely like how it looks, even though I don't get these weird hands here with black fingertips. And yeah, the articulation is basically the same, but it's really rubbery and not really that great. Even though she does have double jointed elbows, it doesn't really make up for the fact that the materials they're using isn't really that good for this figure. The legs are black. I wish they had some kind of wash on them too, maybe a brown, and the articulation's okay, kind of hindered by this though. We do get double jointed knees that, again, really gummy materials. I'm not really sure why they're using all these gummy materials. I don't know if they're trying to go into food processing for this, but yeah, don't eat your Marvel Legends, people. Just don't. Yeah, it's an alright figure with actually some accessories. She does come with these swirly magic effects that go on her hands. They're pretty okay, but I've seen them way too many times and have way too many of them to really care by now. And she also comes with a dark hole that I tried to cleverly frame around her face, but honestly, it's a plank. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't really move. It's supposed to be a book, but what's a book when you can't close it, honestly? It looks kind of disheveled and worn, and the paint's okay on it, but honestly, it's kind of a lackluster performance for this accessory. And here are Scarlet Witch and Agatha next to the previous Scarlet Witch from WandaVision, a much better figure that I really love. But Scarlet Witch stands at about, I would say, 5 3/4 inches tall, while Agatha, the whole block of wood she is, stands at about 5 3/4 inches tall also. I gotta say, much better offerings from previous years. I gotta say, there have been much better offerings from previous years, but hopefully the next two figures will be better right after this. Hello everyone, and thank you so much for watching so far. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also click the bell icon for more creativity. Now let's get back to it. Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, aka Vincent D'Onofrio, who plays him, is probably one of my favorite villains in the MCU. Yeah, Netflix counts as the MCU now, so it's all fair game. This is an amazing head sculpt. I have zero notes. It's basically perfect. I love how it rotates too and articulates. It's just excellent and probably one of the best. The body is stocky, but I don't think as stocky as I want it to. But then again, we always think of Kingpin in the comics as this huge, larger-than-life man, and you probably can't do that without heavy CGI or prosthetics during filming, so this is the best thing we have, I think, and honestly, it's pretty good. I do like how this looks. We use a lot of stuff from previous figures. The articulation is nice, at least on this, and works well for this figure. However, the pin joints really bring it down for me, honestly. The fists look nice too. The coat is a little bit too shiny, I would think. The waist swivels a little bit, and it goes back and forth a tiny bit as well. You can't get him in that charging pose he does, but I do love how this looks, and it's really nice, I I guess. Hopefully we'll get a better one down the line, but I don't think so, seeing as I have this. And we've seen these legs before. I believe this is the Happy Hogan body, honestly. It's alright. The purple looks really great for this, though, and the articulation is solid. I do like the pins, or at least lack thereof, on here. They work fine. I just think that the articulation is great for this, but I do think the pins can be fixed on that. But yeah, it's a solid figure overall. He does come with his diamond cane. The diamond could be done a little bit better, I think, but the rest of the cane is pretty solid. I do like the fact that it looks like it can split into two for extra damage or something. It can't really in real life by pulling it, but hey, a guy can dream, and yeah, someone's in for a beating. And now for someone not even in the MCU anymore, yes, Jonathan Majors is going to jail. The head sculpt is nice. I'm not sure if I saw this during the movie, but it's fine, I guess. It's a cool helmet with a blue face on here that kind of doesn't really look too much like Jonathan Majors. Maybe not. I'm not sure, but I'm not taking the chance I want to reuse it or use it or whatever. It has some nice articulation and looks really great. I was really hyped for this like a year or so ago, but now I'm like, eh. Moving away from the head, the body looks really nice, though. It almost looks like samurai armor in a way. The detail is insane on this thing. I love how this looks. The cape is pretty cool, too. Has some really nice purple on there and some cool hexagonal patterns. It's really amazing. I like how it goes up to the top, too, with this sort of armor on here. My big issue, though, is that articulation doesn't really work on here. Why, Hasbro? What are you doing to me? It's just okay, I would think, for this, and I think I'm moving the socket of the shoulder and not the shoulder itself, so just be careful with this. It can swivel, goes up with a double jointed arm, at least over here. Not too great, I would think, but yeah, it's a little okay. You get some swivels and then hinges and everything on either side, which is pretty good for these hands, and they look nice. We also get some ball jointed waist that kind of breaks up the sculpt a bit. That's kind of a shame, so standing him in a really like inert position is how you would want him to be, I guess. They at least thought to have cuts in the sort of skirt area for the legs. Why not the shoulders? They really look pretty okay and kind of move just sort of bad, honestly. This figure was made to just stand there and look good instead of really doing anything of any note. It's just okay, I would guess, and not really my cup of tea. They could have put a swivel here too anyways. Yeah, this is kind of making me mad about this. It's a really wasted potential for this figure. I'm kind of bummed, especially at you. He does come with two raw hands, I guess. You could swivel and then hinge them and then swivel and then hinge them. They're just okay, but I wish they had effects to go with them. That'd be awesome. Or he could have come with a blaster or something, because this hand actually has a trigger finger on it that could be used, so yeah, I still blame you. And the worst part about this figure is it isn't even compatible with the previous head. They really dropped the ball on this one. We could have had this, but it's just awful. I don't Dremel things or do things like that. I take things as they are, as action figures, and the articulation's insane on this, but really it's not really human. It doesn't look at all that great. Maybe if you fudge it kind of down, it looks okay, but it looks like a floating head on a body. I accidentally did the reverse, and it looks kind of spooky, kind of creepy in a way, really weird. Yeah, this guy is just really weird. And for height comparison, here is Kang next to He Who Remains, two characters we will never see in the MCU again, as well as Kingpin, who I hope to see way more of in the MCU because he's so awesome. Kang the Conqueror stands at about, I would say, 6¼ inches tall, with a comparison at, yeah, that's pretty much the same height, 6¼ inches tall, and then Kingpin standing at about 6¼ inches tall as well. I wouldn't mind Kingpin to be bigger, maybe have an alternate head, but I'm happy with what we have. Overall, awful. Agatha is a huge block of blue mixed with a little bit of purple. The head sculpt is nice, and I think it could be way better with the gritting teeth of the photo on the package. Though I do like the hands, they look kind of weird. There could be accessories or something with this figure to make it a little bit better than what it is now. Scarlet Witch is pretty good, but nowhere near as good as her previous figure from WandaVision. Multiverse of Madness was a misstep for me, and this figure is kind of as well. The Darkhold isn't really that great of an accessory. We've seen those swirly-twirly magic effects a million times, and the likeness isn't that great on this one anyways, though I do like the body. Kingpin is the star here, as he should be. I really love this figure. He looks awesome, ripped out from the comics. The head sculpt is basically perfect. The cane could use a little touch up here and there to make the diamond look a little bit better, but I do love this figure, even though I think it could use an angry head sculpt. Kang the Conqueror isn't that great a figure at all. The sculpt really hinders the articulation, and the articulation's gummy as is, and I feel like it's gonna fall apart on me any second. The sculpt is really great though, and looks amazing, and the colors and details are really well done. It's just a shame that everything else had to be horrible, including the actor. If you're a fan of Marvel Legends or the MCU, you probably already have these, but if not, just get Kingpin. He's well worth it. But make no mistake, these figures may be awful, but none of them is horrible as Jonathan Majors. So which MCU villain is your favorite? These four, or maybe someone else? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching Jesse Hecht Creative. Make sure to click like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. You can also visit us at jessehechtcreative.com for more reviews like this one. Thank you so much for watching, and keep being creative. Stay tuned.